Guys, you're watching Gregorio Girls Makeup. If you're new, my name's Shauna and I run this channel with my sister Devin. And in today's video, I am super excited because we're going to be reviewing the Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette. So if you would like to see how to get this look and if you would like to see my thoughts on this palette, just keep on watching. Alright, so of course you already know we are reviewing the Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette. So first things first, I love the packaging. I love Morphe's normal black packaging, but I love when they like come out with palettes with different colors. Like I loved when the Jaclyn Hill palette came out and it was all white. I love that they really went with the theme of the palette and just made it, you know, really warm and bronzy tones. So obviously very fitting. So when you open it up, it's their normal kind of Morphe palette setup. It does have one of these plastic things in there with the names. I kind of wish that, you know, if Morphe continues to give their shadows names, that they just start to put them on the actual palette, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't save these things. They're very annoying to keep, you know, having slip out every time I open up a palette. So I don't really care to keep them, and I feel like I would pay a few extra bucks if they would print the names on the palette if it was like that important. But as you can see, you have all your, you know, warm bronzy tones in the palette. This isn't a color story that we haven't seen before, obviously, but I really like these are my, and I feel like everybody else in the world's favorite eyeshadow colors. So I'm kind of glad to see all these colors all in one place, but again, you know, it's not anything that we haven't seen already. But I don't know, I'm still really excited to try it. I love this color story. Again, I know it's not anything unique, but I'm feeling it. Alright, so I've zoomed you guys in a little bit. I didn't zoom you in as close as I normally do because this is a big palette and I want to be able to show you the colors that I'm using without, you know, affecting the lighting too much. Normally when I hold up a big palette, it kind of darkens the lighting in the video. So I want to keep you guys a little bit far away. Now you don't have to see like my boogers and my eyebrow hairs. So I don't want to bore you guys too much, but we are just going to go for like a classic bronzy summertime smoky eye. So I'm going to first go in with this shade right here. I don't know what it's called because I just chucked that little plastic name thingy, so sorry about that. But we're just going to go in with this one right here on our Morphe M535 brush. And I'm just going to start blending that like I normally would. Kind of start low, and then as the product deposits, start to bring it up a little bit higher. And then with that same brush and that same color, I'm just going to smoke that underneath my lash line just so we make sure everything's nice and connected. And so far I feel like that blended out really nicely. It was really easy, so far so good. So next I'm going to jump into this color right here and just keep building that gradient effect on my eye. And I'm going to take that on my Morphe M573 brush. And then same thing, holding my mirror up and looking up and just smudging it under my lash line. And then next, dipping into this color right here, I'm going to take that on a Sigma E25 brush. Sorry, I know I'm really bad about like blocking my face when I am blending because I just like, I can't see. I have very bad eyesight. I feel like I literally can't see anything. So I always have my mirror up in my face, so I'm very sorry about that. I am trying to improve. So let's just pat this on our outer corner, or outer V, whatever you want to call it, and just deepen up the look a little bit more. And then I'm just going to kind of tilt the brush and like lightly blend into my crease. Alright guys, so these shadows are really nice. They're blending really well. They're super pigmented. So I'm just really happy how this look is coming out so far. I feel like I barely have to do any work to get the blend that I want, which is amazing. And I'm actually not getting a whole lot of fallout either. I know I'm not using shades that are too dark, but that last shade that I used is kind of like a medium tone shade, so I feel like we're getting into the darker range and it's not falling off onto my cheeks whatsoever, so I'm pretty happy with that as well. If fallout bothers you, just know that this doesn't have too much of that so far. And then next I think I want to pop into this shimmer shade right here. So I'm going to take that on my Morphe M167 brush. And I'm going to test the shimmers out just like how I did in my Makeup Revolution Shook palette review, so if you didn't see that, I will link it up top. But basically what I do is I try the shimmer shade out by itself without any setting spray or primer or any type of enhancement on my right eye, and then I try it out with my trusty Too Faced glitter glue on my left eye just to see how it performs by itself and then with some help. So that shade did start to flake when I started applying it to my eyelids, so I'm just going to go in with some setting powder and just set underneath my eyes. I need a little bit more than that, just so I catch any fallout. Okay, so I feel like that looks pretty reflective and shimmery on camera, but I am interested to see how it looks with the Too Faced primer as well. So let's pop some on our left eye really quick. So between the two of them, I definitely think the Too Faced primer helped it out a little bit more, but looking at my viewfinder, I can't really tell the difference that much. I feel like it looks like just a hair more intense and metallic and shimmery. But when I look at my right eye, which is just the shadow by itself, no primer, no setting spray, I feel like it still looks pretty nice and pretty metallic. This side, of course, just looks a little bit more wet and reflective. I would say that just based on that shimmer alone, I obviously haven't tried any of the other shimmers yet, but if they're the same formula as that one, I'd say these shimmers are pretty good just by themselves. Of course, it's a thing of preference. I always like my shimmers to just really kind of shoot out at you, so I always add a little bit something extra just to make sure that they look nice and wet, but that shimmer's pretty good. And then I'm just going to take this shimmer right here. It's just slightly darker than the one I just used. I'm just grabbing a little bit on my finger just so I can kind of blend the lid shade to like these darker matte shades on the outer corner of my eye. So I'm just going to press it again, like I said, just so we have something to kind of fuse them together and it doesn't look like one harsh line. So I am going to use false lashes. So I do want my lashes just to look a little bit thicker. So I am just going to take a darker brown matte and just kind of pop it right along my lash line. So I'm probably going to take this guy right here. Take that on my trusty Morphe M432 brush. You guys know this brush. This is what I always use for this trick, so it's nothing new. But I'm just going to take that and stamp it right at the base of my lashes. Sorry, I know I'm like screwing with the lighting when I move. And then just smoke it really tight to our lashes as well. So to finish up, I'm just going to take a mixture of these two shades right here. I'm going to highlight my inner corner and under my brow bone. So I feel like these lighter shades aren't showing up too well just with like a dry brush. So I am going to wet my brush just so that they show up a little bit more intense. That's better. It's starting to show up a little bit better. Okay, so I am going to pop on some false lashes. I'm going to do my lips, and then I'll be back to give you guys my final thoughts on this palette. Okay, so there's something weird going on with my lashes currently, so please ignore that. Anyway, my final thoughts on the Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette. So first things first, I love it. I know it's nothing different. I know I said that a million times in this video. Obviously, it's literally just a neutral, warm-toned palette, but I don't know anybody who doesn't like this color story. So for $25 and 35 shadows, I'd say get it. Like, get it if you want it. If these colors speak to you, like I feel like I'm going to be using this all summer long. Blendability is there, the pigment's there. I did have a little bit of trouble with these two shimmer shades in particular, just like showing up. But you can always use some setting spray or some primer to help that out. And that's not like a ding for me in this palette because I'm always going to use setting spray or some type of eyeshadow primer anyway. So just personal preference for me, but that's not a ding for me because I would use it anyway to make my shimmers just that much better. But even if you're somebody who just wants your shimmers to be like really metallic right off the bat, I think these are pretty good. These two I had a problem with, but the darker shades I didn't. I thought they still looked really nice and wet. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Again, it retails for $25. So if you're interested in this palette, I believe it's already in Ulta. You can get it on the Morphe website. But yeah, I totally recommend it. I really like it so far. And I can't wait to do more tutorials with it. Devin and I are definitely going to do a bunch of tutorials with this. And that wraps it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know if you guys are liking the reviews that we're doing. Make sure if you do, you like this video and subscribe to our channel. That would really help us out. And of course, don't forget to follow Devin and I on Instagram. I'm at Shauna Greggs and Devin is at DevDevGreggs, and we will see you in our next video.